Well, hello everyone. You're here to show you that the Smart Choice homework coloring right here is talking about is like with me that you got right here. It's like a little, I say a coloring right here from a photo that I drew right here of me, and of course that I went ahead and drew that. You would say on it's like using the three colors is like red, white, and blue. Is you have right here is you got the outer part right here. I went ahead and drew is like a little shirt right here. Is like you say it could be called it's like for Cowboy Junior or whatever type of shirt that I would be wanting to wear. It's like choose for whatever photo that I want to participate. It's like if it's like that was if I remember right whenever I was in school that the class photos I think were one of my was one of my top favorites. It's like so far as being involved with any type of picture. If it was the second grade or if it was the third grade or whatever it is, the fourth grade, that to try to look good in in that saying that that picture for a picture day is that ways to say to look good and of course right here is that of course is that says other than just like with the orange is like is that if I want to add some detail or it's like for say for is for like a red, white, and blue, but to go ahead and just add some details right here for the nose. It's like other than you say if you were to be looking at like what you call a black and white photo, is go ahead and just add some details right here of like a little bit of gray right here. But you got right here, you kind of look like like a clown face or something. But anyway, but if you want to add some a mustache or whatever you call it, but that would be what I would look like, of course, whenever I was very young. But talking about is like for the Smart Choice homework, is it talking about is that if the definition right here is talking about with school that they go ahead and write it right here. It's like you got the dark blue right here, dark blue marker. You say it's like if so. Is it which is the chisel point right here? It's talking about with school. But most of us here would probably say that whenever you're in school, that a lot of times you're probably thinking that it's like what your your career about what your majoring is, like what your study is. A lot of people would probably say that whenever you're in class and then maybe you come home with homework or whatever you call it, that a lot of times that you just don't want to do it. And I would say I was one of those students at one time that sometimes I still kind of get that way to where if I'm sent home with homework, it could be homework from work or it could be homework from following my taxes, or it could be homework related to something that needs to be done on medical papers or health insurance, stuff like that. The stuff that you've been doing for the past 20 years or longer, maybe 15 years or whenever, as far as you can remember, anything that related to Social Security or anything related to managing your money, counting your money, Social Security benefits, you name it. That more likely you could probably think about is that either way you're probably going to have homework to do on that. And whenever I'm talking about homework, I'm talking about the fact about is that work that's done at home, and it maybe not have to be on like a computer or an e-reader or Android tablet or whatever on a smartphone or whatever. But of course, homework that is pretty much done is that on paper or whatever, but on paper or on a tablet or on a notebook pad or something. But basically, is my own words. A lot of teachers would probably say that you would maybe earn about maybe 15 points if you were to explain a little bit about this topic or whatever. It could be about whatever subjects. It could be history related or science or language arts related. If you could explain it in your own words, and they're talking about not looking at a library book, not looking at any kind of book, but just to put it in your own words. And of course, talking about with detail is talking about you say detail. It's like if you write that in the book right there, is talk about detail, and whatever details that they could be looking for. Of course, is a detail about whatever story that you read about is about the story. Is the story is like what did you read about? It's like, and then a lot of times the teachers would want you to write maybe at least 10 sentences. Says here sentences that they would want you to write at least 10 sentences about you say about that certain topic it is about see here 10 see over say paragraphs or whatever you call it, but so far as the storyline goes. And of course that they say have it line by line. They will want you to read it line by line, but that they a lot of times that they don't want you looking off of a book whenever you do your homework. A lot of times they want it written, say, in your own words. And with say my own words, of course, is talking about whatever topic it is so far as your career for the smart choice. In my opinion about the word homework, a lot of people would probably say that whenever you're in school or wherever that a lot of times you probably say that I do my schoolwork in school. It's not called homework, it's called schoolwork, so I'll just wait until I go back into school to do it. But then on the other hand too, that a lot of parents whoever would probably say that they never did like doing homework, but I would probably say that here to tell you that what makes homework interesting is like you wonder that question and answer to what makes homework interesting is talking about. It's like with technology, as you have right here with technology right here, and technology. But you have right here is that talking about what's like so far as tech stuff is like technology as the stuff that's in those devices, our computers, our calculators, blood pressure machines, whatever that makes it work. And a lot of times I'm sure that a lot of people will probably say that it's all a matter of just touching a button. It's all a matter of just touching the button. It's all a matter of taking it apart just to look at the wiring or whatever you call it, just to look at the wiring and then the sensors or whatever. But more likely anybody would probably say that no, that's not what it's about. It's about studying about how it works, what it's supposed to do, and then how well it's designed for. And really, if we don't do our homework, maybe if we don't do our study, we may not never know that. And of course, my parents used to always tell me that why is it that school's important, and that's why I used to hear that a lot of people would probably say, other than going to the party, the other going bowling, that you need to do your homework or whatever, other than staying out late, playing pool with your friends or whatever you call it, or maybe watching the football game, that you should be doing your homework. Well, I remember my answer a lot of times was, nah, I don't want to do it. But on the other hand, too, that there's that question and answer is like, how is it that how are we supposed to know how this works if you don't do your homework? You just say. But my opinion about homework, which a lot of teachers would probably say that with homework, that a lot of times we want it to, in your own words. It's like as Matthew, we want to know what you think about this. We want you to think about that. We want you to think about what you think about homework. My definition, of course, for homework is work that's done. You say on your own daily basis, and of course that if we were to do our homework, that we may say that if there is a right or wrong answer to whatever we're doing. In a lot of ways, you could probably say that there, I guess there is, you say, a lot to do with a right or wrong answer. But then, of course, the say is that if you do get the answer wrong, the more likely the teachers would probably say you got to redo whatever you got wrong. You got to redo it or whatever. But then, on the other hand, too, that I would probably say that my opinion about homework, it's about for study. It's like for study for what you know. You stay for what. I'll say that I could say what we know. The study about what we know, and about what we can do. So far as that is like with the homework, is an activity right here that I was able to put together within about 25 minutes. It's like about on average, a lot of people will probably say it seems like a lot longer than 25 minutes. But then the other hand too, that we probably say is, to be able to get our questions, our answers right. It's like no, it's like where do apples come from, and so far as what were M&Ms named after, whatever it is that is like what in what year did the Civil War end at, or whatever it is. A lot of times people will probably say that whatever questions that remain is so far as that really is that if we ever were to do our homework, is that between 5 times 15 or whatever you call it, that that if we until we do our homework, then more likely that we may never know. It's like so far as the words for done is to know is like, and how do we know really? It's like for the word done and complete. Done and complete, or what you call is like for that smart choice is for the smart choice homework. Is know about it's like for our career. It's like it's like with the it's like I can also add right here. It's like for for the goals. It's like also known as for as it says that for the dream job. It's not every job that you've had that more likely that you would consider as something that you always want to do. It could be something that you always wanted to do, but then there may be some rough times. But I remember that other with our homework is to know is about the story. It's like about your birthday. That that a birthday would be like what you call kind of like a social security number to a lot of people, because to be able to look at your insurance plan and you to know that it's like what your birthday is. And a lot of times it's like they look that up and to be able to determine it's like for eligibility, it's like for what your insurance or whatever covers, other than with your taxes. But other than for that smart choice homework is to know that what we should know about what to say, and of course what not to say, and then of course what we should do and we should not do. Is to know is like it is so far as the study for what we know. But other than that, it's like for the smart choice along with the reading glasses. And then right God, it's like it's so far with it's like the work that we could be doing, of course, with our with the crayon is of course is to keep the paperwork nice and neat and organized. As a know is that my opinion, it's like my opinion you say about in my own words about homework. It's all about the study. It's like for what you know, and then about what you know is like you'd be able to share to the class. Share to the class about this is like in your own research about it's like what it's all about the smart choice homework. But other than that, it's like for the careers, and then along it's like for the questions and answers, and along with like for where do apples come from, it's like comes from the answer for the best for what we know. But other than that, it's like for the smart choice homework coloring.